Nomad! Thank God you made it! Take a look at this!
Did you ever wonder how Psycho got his alien souvenir? No? Well, neither did I, but Crytek thought we should know, and so Crysis Warhead was born. Slap on the mark of the beast, and we're all set. I really liked the original Crysis, but it was far from perfect. Warhead has all the problems of Crysis, and about 100 more. These include units teabagging their positions, and ADS not working when it is needed. However, ADS isn't really needed in Crysis, unless you are sniping, but that does not make it acceptable. Some of the problems unique to Warhead include units developing the ability to dodge sniper fire, which, while amusing, is extremely frustrating, since sniper ammo is scarce. Vehicles in Crysis have never been the best part, but Warhead takes it to the next level. The vehicle sections are absolutely dreadful. Whoever thought putting in a vehicle section into a game and not letting you control the gun while driving, but forcing you to switch seats just to use the gun, which in turn causes you to stop moving, was a clever idea, is one of the cruelest people alive. Add on to that the fact that vehicles get blocked by paper on the road and you have a really annoying section of the game. A rather annoying problem in Warhead was that FreeSync would not work, which was very odd, since it worked perfectly fine with the original Crysis. The only way to get it to work was setting the game as borderless window with the borderless gaming app. Full disclosure, these next two problems might be related to that, but in all honesty, if FreeSync just worked like it did with Crysis, I would not have used borderless gaming. Only reason I'm not sure if it was in fact borderless gaming is that the problems persisted, even if I turned it off. Shortly after I started encountering the Seth, I noticed weird lighting effects burning into the screen. The silhouette of various objects started showing up all the time, similar to an OLED burn-in. It was very strange and very annoying as there was no way to get rid of this. Restarting did not fix it. This effect is seen in most of the clips post-Seth encounter. The other suspicious problem was that objects that emitted light could be seen through solid objects. I would guess it would be up to 100 meters where lasers, lights and other related things could be seen through walls, mountains, and so forth. Now, let's talk about AI. Enemies and NPCs get stuck on the environment every time they come into play where it's not an on-rails mission. The AI appears to be less advanced when compared to Crysis. Now to be fair, Crysis's AI has its issues, but it's also a much slower paced game, which means these things are less noticeable, since they eventually do sort themselves out. Funny enough, the issue where light goes through solid objects did save me quite a bit of time when trying to find one of the Seth I needed to peacefully remove from society. However, if you thought only NPCs could get stuck on random pieces of the environment, I have bad news for you. It gets worse. Listen to this fuckery. What the fuck? One of the more exciting features the game uses to make it more difficult is randomly deciding you can't use gun placements and now you have to rely on your 3 rockets to destroy the dozens of vehicles that will come at you constantly. Alternatively, you could hide like a bitch and hope they don't blow you to hell and back. What the fuck? I have to give credit for the attempt at not wanting to waste the player's time with meaningless replaying of the same sections due to stupid mistakes. Checkpoints are placed at reasonable intervals for people prone to suicide. I can't help but wonder if the developers were afraid of getting called out for making an easy game. Sometimes it really feels like you are dying simply because game deemed you will die here, even if it makes no sense that you should be the one who they will be firing on. I do a good enough job of killing myself. I do not need the game to help me in stupid ways.
To be honest with you, kind of retarded.
Did you see that? Let me play that again in slow motion. This annoys me a lot, since it just cements the idea I have in my head that this was a low effort cash grab. Now, to be fair, this game was built on CryEngine 2, and I'm using CryEngine 5, but I cannot think that something this simple would be that complicated. All I can say for sure is that this game either doesn't play well with Windows 10, or it was never playtested. It is one of the worst experiences I've had in a long time. What makes this worse is that it comes from the time when games were supposedly released as bug-free as possible, instead of patching it later or even never. Crytek truly were ahead of the curve.